Welcome everyone to the Solopreneur Launchpad operating system. So this is an operating system that I've had to trial and error over the last 6 years, being firstly a part-time solopreneur to now a full-time solopreneur that's growing and scaling my one-person business to $50,000 per month. So what I want to look at is a couple of things here. I want to teach you how to generate, nurture, and convert leads. And this is the operating system that you can install into your business, either partially or fully, depending on where you're starting. But this operating system is applicable to any niche, sector, industry that you've worked in. I've been able to apply the Solopreneur Launch operating system in any niche or sector that you can think of. Some of my previous clients that I've worked with is a cosmetic, injectables, and nurse clinic, a physical gym based in Melbourne, a foundation that is also based in Melbourne, an e-commerce website that is working out of Singapore, and numerous agencies, founders, coaches, anyone that is able to digitize their experience, their analog experience into a digital offer. This operating system works for them. I've developed this because solopreneurs come in all shapes and sizes, and I needed to build a flexible, reliable, but most importantly, scalable operating system that is applicable across a wide range of contexts and also environments. So it is something that I'm very passionate about, and this is what I want to share over the next 20 to 25 minutes. I might go longer, and I apologize if I do. So we're going to move over to the laptop. So here I am here. The Solopreneur Launch operating system really is the lead generation machine for ex-corporate solopreneurs. So whether you find yourself as an executive, whether you worked in operations, sales, marketing, finance, as a CEO, as an operations person, I think I said that twice, you can apply this operating system to your own one-person business. The majority of what ex-corporate solopreneurs struggle with is not the technical skill. They have the technical skills. They have the community. They have the network. The one thing that they struggle with is lead generation, nurturing, and also conversion. They know how to do everything else, but they just don't understand the process of business development. So there are 5 parts to this operating system that I want to get into. The first part is the pre. So the pre is really looking at before you do anything, before you create content, before you create your email list, before you create your offer or even your system of delivery, you need to understand your positioning, because positioning creates focus. And the number one thing I always ask any solopreneur that I work with is, who is the person that you are solving for? Often, this is the person that is 3 to 4 years, 3 to 4 steps behind where you are today, but you need to have a person in mind. The biggest red flag that I see with any solopreneur who's starting their own one-person business is when I ask, who is the person that they're serving? And they say, everybody. If you try to be everything to everybody, you will be nothing to nobody. So you have to pick a person. The next thing here is understanding the problem. So there are only really 3 core problems that you can solve, which is wealth, health, or relationships. You can be a subset of one of those eternal problems, but everything needs to map back to one of those 3. If you don't, you're solving a problem that is a nice to have to solve and not a critical problem. The third thing is the product. So how are you actually going to solve this problem for this person? So this could be a coaching offer, a consulting offer, but you need to have a way of solving this problem that is unique to you. And it could also be genuine to how you solved your own problem in the past. But by answering these 3 things, we get really clear on the positioning, and we have focus on the person you're solving for, the problem you are solving, and how you will solve it. So you need to do this positioning exercise before you get to any other part of the operating system. And this is where a lot of people skip. And when they skip the pre-funnel, when they get to their top or middle of funnel, they find themselves feeling lost or on a treadmill of content with no real direction or foundation in branding, positioning, or messaging. So the next part of this operating system is the top. So this is the top of funnel. How do you generate traffic and how do you get attention? I've been able to build over 100,000 followers across various platforms on Medium, LinkedIn, as well as Instagram, much smaller platform for me. And how I've been able to do that is by producing one long form piece of content. Now, in my world, I'm a writer, but you can apply this long form piece of content to be a podcast. It can also be a YouTube video, anything that goes into depth and has a lot of substance. For me, I started writing 6 years ago on medium.com. On Medium, I published 2 long form pieces per week, and this was able to attract an audience that was interested in the solopreneur one person business model niche and entrepreneurship. I then reposted and created some original content for LinkedIn as well as Instagram. But I needed to have one long form piece of pillar content in the top of funnel to be able to attract the type of audience and the type of person, hence this positioning exercise, into my funnel before I could do anything. This is why it's so important to get clear on the person that you want to solve for, because then you understand the type of content when you go broad in your top of funnel that you're trying to attract. You're trying to attract this person, and it's often the person you were 2 to 3 years ago. When you get them through the top of funnel, I've got a system to try and convert them into a customer, and this will be a one-off customer. So there's 2 things that I do. I have a range of low-ticket digital products, as well as an email course that sells these digital products. So some people might just find my digital product straight away. They've read an article, they've seen my digital products, and they purchase. Then they shift their attention, right, from being a lead to a customer. So I've already converted someone, a random person on the internet, from just reading my Medium articles, becoming interested in it, which is a lead, then converting that attention into some level of trust for them to go from a lead to a customer on autopilot through purchasing one of my digital products or going through my email course, which is also sprinkled with my low ticket digital products. And often I can wake up with 100 to 200 USD in digital product sales overnight, which is, let me tell you, an unreal feeling to have. So this is where you're able to convert that attention into trust and turn a lead into a customer, all before they even get to your middle of funnel. But you might only have maybe 5 to 10% of people who do the lead to customer just by your top of funnel content. What then happens is after they go into my email course, maybe they have purchased a digital product, maybe they haven't. They then go into my middle of funnel. So there's 3 ways that I'm able to nurture my audience, build my trust, and build my authority. And I usually do that through a daily email where I send a story-driven email to my list that documents a core challenge that one of my audience faces or several of the challenges that they face. I then have a weekly vlog that I record and publish that goes even into more depths about the realities of building a one-person business, of traveling, of being in Bali, of being in China, or being in Japan, or traveling to Melbourne. And it really goes into more and more detail about the realities of being a one-person business owner. And let me tell you, it's not always rainbows and sunsets. The last way I do this is also through Substack. So Substack for me serves a kind of a different purpose to my email list. Substack is also an email list, but I go for a longer form content where I document and I case study different solopreneurs as well as different challenges that I have. The challenges that I pitch at this level with my Substack audience is at a level 2. So I choose challenges that have a higher level of sophistication to an audience that would appreciate it. So in this case, I'm building my trust and authority through my middle of funnel with 1 email per day. But you can also use YouTube has that mechanism to build that trust. When someone can see your face like you're seeing mine and also hear your voice, they're more likely to convert. The reason why I say email is because email is the only thing that you own on the internet. It's the only list that you own. You can get banned from LinkedIn, you can get banned from Instagram, you can get banned from Medium, you can even get banned from YouTube. But even if you get banned from, just say, an email service provider, you can export your list and move to another provider, which I've seen many people do as well. Onto the bottom of funnel here, it's really looking at your offer doc. So I've sold, I would say, over $100,000 worth of coaching and consulting with just a very simple Notion document. I still to this day don't even have a landing page for my service. I just have a Notion doc. So this is just one offer that you have. And what you can do with this offer is create different tiers of proximity. So I have my highest tier of proximity, which is one-on-one. and I solve business development, sales, and marketing challenges for ex-corporate solopreneurs and also family offices. But I'm able to tier that into different levels of proximity. So if you want me one-on-one, perfect. You can work with me at a really intimate level with really close proximity. The second layer of that proximity is group. So this is one to many. So this is where I show up to one call per week and maybe 8 to 10 people who are paying on a different band or different tier get me at a one to many level. Then there's another layer of that, which is just school. Some people might only get me at a community level. The key point to add here, it's not different offers. It's one offer with many tiers of access to me in this case, and the high value skill set that I provide, which is business development, sales, and marketing. So this is where we focus on one highly leveraged offer with differing levels of proximity or access to you. So you're not having different offers for different people. It's the same offer with different levels of proximity tailored to the different customer sophistication levels that you're attracting. So for beginners, many of them do not need me at a one-to-one level. It's often too overwhelming and it goes too quickly for them to implement what they need to implement. They just need information. Level 2 customers need more support and guidance, and level 3 customers need systems. If you're at a level 1 sophistication, you just need information. If you're a level 2 sophistication, you just need that weekly accountability and support. And if you're level 3, you want systems and operations for scaling. And that's what you get with this offer. I fundamentally solve the same problem for everyone. It's just how I do it and at what level I do it for them. And that's fine. So this is where between the middle and bottom of funnel, you're building trust and authority, and you're turning once-off customers who have bought from you maybe a low ticket item, it could be a workshop, it could be a seminar, could be your digital products, and you want to upsell them into one of your proximity offers on a week-to-week basis that they can either pay on a weekly payment plan or upfront. So this is where one offer with different levels of proximity. Lastly, I won't go into too much detail. Here is one system for delivering value. So this is post. So you've already signed them. You need a way to onboard, productize, and retain your customers within your one-person business so that you're able to scale. People who have bought from you before are more likely to buy from you again. And what you don't want is this ongoing high level of churn where you constantly have to doing a lot of marketing and sales in order to convert more customers to replace that churn that's happening in your business. So to look at this from an overview, it's one positioning exercise where you know your person, problem, and product. You've got one long form piece of content that can happen on Medium, LinkedIn, Instagram. It could even be Substack. It could even be YouTube that you use for your top of funnel. But this content grows broad to capture attention. The next part of it is building an email course, digital product, workshop, or seminar that is evergreen and can apply to any sophistication level in your audience. And this is where you convert the attention into the trust. So you turn a lead into a customer. The next thing is one daily email that you can have on Kit and or Substack. And you can also use YouTube to further nurture your audience. That builds the trust that you can convert later on into one offer. It's one offer with many levels of proximity into your world, whether that's one-on-one, that's group, that's community, or even just your content. And that's where you convert a customer to a client. And lastly, it's one system to effectively and efficiently deliver value to your customers at scale. So this includes onboarding, productizing, and retaining. So this is an overview of the Solopreneur launch operating system, and we can work together to install this operating system into your business, no matter what sector, industry, or niche that you find yourself in. I'm really excited to share this Solopreneur launch operating system with you because it's taken years for me to understand what the challenges are, gather the data from real clients through coaching and through writing online over a number of years to say, okay, this is the complete operating system that any solopreneur, regardless of their background, expertise, knowledge, or even the offer that they're trying to sell, can implement into their business. So if you want to do this, click on the link below to get started. And I'm excited to support you on your solopreneurship journey. Take care. Peace.